I'm Jennifer Bell, and this is my unofficial therapy dog and my pretend therapy client, Finn. In this video, I'm going to talk about a form of brain spotting, or several forms of brain spotting really, that are resourcing. Most therapy approaches have some way of making processing something a little less difficult. We call that often resourcing. So when there's an issue that is particularly intense that you think is going to be difficult to work on, maybe you find a way of resourcing to make the work easier to do and less intense. I'm going to pretend that Finn came to his therapy session directly from the dog park, which is his favorite place to be because he loves dogs, most dogs, which I'll get to in a moment, and he loves running and playing. The one exception to Finn's love of dogs is Great Pyrenees. For some reason, he just does not like them. We don't know why. So we're going to pretend that he was at the dog park. A Great Pyrenees showed up. He tried to be nice to the Great Pyrenees. It didn't work. He picked a fight and had to leave the dog park. I'm going to guess that the dislike of Great Pyrenees comes from a past incident in his life, from presumably before I met him. And I'm also guessing that it might be pretty intense to work on it. So instead of using an activating brain spot, I'm going to use a resourcing brain spot. Instead of finding a place in Finn's body that corresponds to higher activation of the issue, I'm going to ask him to find a spot in his body that feels grounding or calm. Even if it's a teeny tiny spot the size of a grain of rice. Once he has found that spot in his body, we do something very similar to what we would normally do, using the inside window technique. If you remember, inside window locates a spot on the x-axis or horizontal axis and the y-axis or the vertical axis. So he will locate the resource spot and then he will do the normal focused mindfulness processing that he would usually do. There are also other ways of resourcing in brain spotting. One is using the z-axis. The x-axis is horizontal, the y-axis is vertical, the z-axis is nearer or farther. So I would have the pointer at the brain spot. Finn would first look at the pointer, and then he would look through the pointer to a place probably on the back wall of the office. He would decide which felt more activating and which felt more resourcing, and he would go back and forth between the two. Slowly at first, and then more quickly. There is also a technique called double spotting, in which Finn would come up with two brain spots, one that's activating and one that's resourcing. He would go back and forth between those as needed and process the issue that way. If you'd like to learn more about how brain spotting therapy with me might work, you can go to my website, jenniferbellpsychotherapy.com, and either fill out a contact form or book a consultation. You can also text or call me at 410-888-0590. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.